Okay, looking at solving equations, we're going to up the ante a little bit. I'm looking at part 2, but we're doing the same technique. And that's the really important thing to remember. Remember the whole technique that had BOMDAS, figuring out what happens first, what happens second, what happens third, whatever it is. Okay, we're still doing that. Okay, but we're going to change things around a little bit. So let's do this. Let's have, let's see, x divided by 3 plus 5 equals 10. Okay, so it looks a little different to the other ones we did, but let's do the same thing. Focusing on x and what is the stuff that is done to it if you are number crunching it, thinking about it like it's a normal number. Okay, what's done first? Well, you divide by 3. That's the first thing that's done to x, according to BOMDAS. And then you add 5. All right, well, let's put these in reverse. What's the opposite of dividing by 3? It's multiplying by 3. The opposite of adding 5 is to subtract 5. And that is our plan of attack. Okay, so I'm going to do this first. I'm going to subtract 5 and then multiply by 3. Okay, so I'm just going to get all my colours happening here. I'm going to do different colours for the different steps. Okay, so I've got x divided by 3 plus 5, but then I'm going to subtract 5. And then over here, subtract 5. Okay, so they vanish in a puff of smoke. 5 minus 5 is nothing. 10 minus 5 is 5. All right, so now I'm left with, I haven't done anything with this yet. Okay, it just goes along for the ride. And then I've got 5 there. All right, so over here in my little checklist, bang, done that one. Tick. Okay, now I multiply both sides by 3. All right, so I've got x over 3, multiplied by 3 there, and now I've got 5, and I'm going to multiply by 3. They cancel nicely, okay, and 5 times 3 is 15, and that's my answer. And again, you should know whether you're right, because we get this back up into there. 15 divided by 3 is 5. 5 plus 5 is 10. Done. Let's do one more. Let's look at, let's go for a second one. Ooh, focus. There we go. N divided by 4 minus 9 equals 1. All right, so what's our game plan? Or what's the first thing that happens to n? I divide by 4. The second thing that happens is I subtract 9. All right, we'll put those in reverse. The opposite of dividing by 4 is to times by 4. The opposite of subtracting 9 is to add 9. Righto, that's my game plan. That's what I'm going to do. And I'll use different colours just like before. All right, so I've got n over 4 minus 9. Where's my red? Add 9, because that's what it says to do. 1 plus 9. All right. If I'm subtracting 9, then adding 9, that all vanishes in a puff of smoke. Okay, so I've got n over 4 equals 10. Good. Righto, so I'm done that one. Now I multiply both sides by 4. So multiplying both sides by 4, n over 4. Righto, so 4 on the top, 4 on the bottom, they cancel. I'm left with n is 40. All right, does it work? Let's have a look. Back up in here. 40 divided by 4 is 10. 10 minus 9 is 1. It works. Okay, so now I'm going to set you going with some practice ones. Okay, so this is practice Okay, so my practice one is going to be k over 2 plus 3 equals 9. And then I'm going to have p over 5 minus 6 equals 5. Okay, so you need to hit the pause button. Hang on, I'll make a pause button. Boom, there's a pause button. Okay, you hit that, go and do those two, and then come back and I'll work through the answers. All right, let's have a go. So, what's my game plan? So over here, first thing that happens to k is it divides by 2, and then I add 3. All right, so let's put that in reverse. The opposite of dividing by 2 is to multiply by 2. The opposite of adding 3 is to subtract 3. That's my game plan. Okay, so let's do it. I'll keep with the blue, I think. So I've got k over 2 plus 3, 9, and I'm going to go minus 3, minus 3. You don't need to use two different colours, you realise. I'm just doing that so you can see what's going on. Once you get really used to this, you don't even have to write this out. You can just go straight to the application of subtracting 3. But anyway, so that goes to nothing, and that goes to 6. So I've got k over 2 equals 6. Righto, now I multiply by 2. They cancel. So k equals 12. Come back up to here. I'll just put that back in. 12 divided by 2 is 6. 6 plus 3 is 9. Lovely. And my one over here, let's see if I've left enough room at the side here. The first thing that happens to p is it divides by 5. And the second thing that happens is I subtract 6. All right, so putting that in reverse. Times by 5, add 6. There's my game plan. All right, let's do these things to both sides. I've got p over 5 minus 6 plus 6. I'm kind of squeezing it in there. Then I've got 5 plus 6. Okay, so if I'm subtracting 6, then adding 6, I'm back to 0. So that's nothing there. So I've got p over 5 equals 11. Excellent. Now what do? Done that one? I multiply by 5. Okay. Cancel, cancel. Oop. I don't get my colours mixed up here. P is 55. Okay, does that work? Let's take it back up here. 55 divided by 5 is 11. 11 minus 6 is 5. Lovely. Okay, so that's just mixing it up a little bit, but I need you to understand that it's the same process, with the same thought process. What's the first thing that happens? What's the second thing that happens? Put it in reverse, work from your bottom and go up. Okay? In the next one, we'll actually take it a little harder, but it's the same process still.